also armored.
Nice.
There.
Not too much damage.
To light and heavy to heavy. So
Her heavy startup is mad slow
simple,
though.
We're good to go.
Yeah.
The interesting thing the hero has is that after every single heavy attack, you can hit the guard break button and you're gonna get a pistol blast, which uses the pistol in your left hand. So if we're going, if the heavy attack hits like this, the guard break button
that's sick.
Shoots a guaranteed shot. So that bullet.
Oh, it's guaranteed.
If your heavy attack landed, the
oh,
pistol
no.
blast is always guaranteed.
Oh,
However, if the attack is blocked, we have this one that is dodgeable.
Oh, whoa.
So if Francis gets hit by it, you'll see we shoot the opponent in the stomach, but that attack is dodgeable, so that works quite well. The other thing that's interesting to note is that the pistol blast itself initiates chains. So I can go into heavy, pistol blast, into heavy, pistol blast, into light, for example, right? Which is pretty interesting. So it gives her a
Not
lot
too
of,
crazy.
An infinite chain that has to alternate between heavy and bash. The gunshot is considered, the pistol blast is considered to be a bash, so it's kind of interesting there. So that works quite well. The next thing we want to look out for is she also has an attack which is called Walk the Plank, which is performed by holding down on the left stick and pressing heavy. You can do that after any single attack, and it'll impale your opponent, and then there's multiple options out of it, right?
Oh, she's brutal.
You can do this, impale your opponent. And you saw that.
That's pretty cool. That's 30 damage.
To the face there. So there's 3 different options.
That is pretty slow, though. You got to keep in mind.
Do nothing like this. Knees,
depends on if it's feightable or not.
I don't think it is.
But you got to think. You got to make a read if she's going to do her. Undodgeable.
Press guard break here for a quick gunshot.
Or which undodgeable she's doing.
And what's also interesting here is that gunshot also initiates chains. So I can go gunshot into a heavy. Keep going, do all that kind of cool stuff. So like that flow there is really interesting. It works quite well. That move can be used to gank. It works really, really well. And last but not least, you can dodge out of it to avoid other opponents. So that's kind of like the gist of that attack. On top of that, we have dodge for the heavy. Dodge for the heavy is the first time we do something like this. The move itself is rather slow.
Can you feign it?
It's
Can you feign it?
An unblockable Nature's Wrath.
So it's
can you feign it though? That's the thing.
Sorry?
So it's a spicy one, right?
Yeah, it's really, really spicy. It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
And on top of that, to make sure that it works well, it also soft feints to guard break.
Oh, soft feint in the GB. That's sick.
That it's
so
it's
not a Nature's Wrath
of a guard break, the one that we usually use after a feint. So this way,
I don't know how I feel about that.
Go like that, really, really quickly. That soft feint also applies to the walk the plank as well. So those are 2 soft feint that she has here. Helps you defeat opponents that try to dodge, that sort of stuff, and parry attempts as well. She also has side dodge heavy attacks. These are heavies, so again you can go into your pistol blast afterwards, like before. Pretty cool. And last but not least, we have her sprint attack, which is like this. Works well, has a big trajectory, kind of interesting. It also initiates chains and can go into pistol blast as well. And then her zone attack, which is it's not the fastest one, but it also initiates chains.
I don't think this looks too bad.
So you can go into your heavies, your lights,
dodge cancel,
your walk the plank, whatever you like.
You could just chain into everything though. I like it's just really fluid.
And the last
I like
thing
it.
we want to showcase for the hero's moveset is that she can dodge cancel out of everything, kind of like what we have on Orochi and some other heroes. So after any attack, she can cancel the recovery with a dodge, even on miss. It works on this as well. So what's interesting in this case is that, let's say I land a light, I can go into dodge for the heavy if I'd like to, or I can go into side dodge heavy, or I can go into this move here. I can do whatever I like, right? So it's pretty interesting how like she's really, really, really mobile and versatile. Yeah. And that's what I meant. So after anything, whenever, if you're in a group fight, if you're in a 1v1 or whatever happens, you have a lot of her options at your disposal after any attack that you land. So it's pretty interesting how she can go really wide.
I wanted to compare the gunshot though,
but still keep the pressure on opponents.
No, it's a bash.
It's slippery.
It was a joke.
When I was talking about the range as well, you can see that those heavies.
That does go kind. Oh my. Okay.
All
right. That just made it a little bit worrying.
The same applies to a pistol
Well,
blast.
that makes me
right?
super
They need
far
to
reaching.
Again,
Track.
the goal
Oh my
of
god.
this is to be able to target swap.
They need to
between
fix the
between
tracking
opponents,
for
be able to reach them.
other
Her
heroes.
attacks have quite nice trajectories.
You can
hit
see
a
the
lot of different
backstep,
people
light or
on her,
heavy. It just
so it works really well. Okay, so
Soar.
now let's just do a quick
She
showcase
Farron.
of what kind of things she can do, right? So let's go.
what about like a
little
parry
bit nuts
option?
here.
Okay, that executes. All right.
And with a
Nice.
little execution
Oh,
right
wait.
there.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
perfect.
sick.
That looks really sick. Okay.
I'm gonna hold my judgment till I play
See, so
against him.
like even with this, what I find interesting is that I was able to chain a bunch of different things that normally I wouldn't be able to. I started with a light, and
Lot
that
of mix-ups.
whole chain ended up
A lot of
completely
mix-ups.
different
It's gonna
Lot
be
of
gross.
mix-ups.
And she can dodge
Pretty
cancel
interesting.
everything. So
I think the
that's
dodge
about it for
cancel's
the
gotta go,
moveset.
but
So
other
we're
than
gonna
that,
move on to Feats. Francis is
Oh,
gonna
Feats,
explain
here we
to us
go.
a little bit how the Feats function. All right, so let's talk Feats. Francis, you want to run through the Pirates Feats?
Yeah, for sure. So first feat for pirate is gonna be one called Armor Piercing Slug. So it's super simple. You're just gonna throw a bullet towards your enemy. When it hits, it's gonna do a defense
Flip the
debuff
gunshot.
and deal direct damage. Pretty
that's
simple.
kind
let's
of
look at it.
slow.
So
That's reactable.
From neutral.
yeah.
Slower
How much
than
damage?
Purvio.
10.
So it's pretty interesting too because that feat is that feat actually lets you do range damage, right? Which is one of the things that we didn't want to have.
How far the damage
like,
though?
on
I wonder how
demand at all times, but you can still perform
Like
range
across the
attacks a little
map?
bit with her pistol.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So for feat 2, we have a feat called Pocket Bomb. This one is also pretty simple. You just throw a bomb at somebody. It has a small radius, and it deals also damage when it impacts. It also has a really cool animation, so
That's not too
you
bad.
can do that one.
Let's have a look.
That's not that bad. That's
That's
25
pretty cool.
damage though if that
Yeah,
connects.
exactly. So for feat 3, this one
I
is
mean,
I think
I
that's
know.
a really cool
Like a
one.
bomb.
I don't think we have
Yeah.
something like that in the game right now. It's called Trick Shot, and it's
Ooh.
basically a projectile that will bounce on
I can see this
contact to another
bleeding.
close target. And that feat can bounce up to
Okay.
3 times, considering
Bruh,
the
no
initial
way.
target. It's a 4 attack if all the enemies are in the vicinity. So we can showcase that one.
All right, so let's look. So I'm gonna shoot it at the Yorm here, courtesy of Benjamin, that you guys know from the Warriors Land a bunch of times. So yeah, so see, so
Whoa,
it's pretty interesting.
that's
The
pretty
bullet
nice.
hit the Yorm and then bounce to the Kyoshin.
But if you miss it, then of course
dump
it's not gonna
damage
hit,
and apply
or
bleed
it's not
as
gonna
well.
bounce or whatever.
Exactly.
You
So
gotta
it's
hit
also
one
worth
person.
noting that
Yeah,
this
and then
may
it connects,
sound
but
like
that's good
super
in a
strong,
team
but you
fight
can
though.
also dodge it at
It's
any
still
point
kind of
to
slow.
stop the
Yeah,
ricochet from
it's
happening.
reactable, I think.
So if you can do it again.
Yeah.
Not if you target somebody who's not locked onto you.
That's true.
Oh,
Or if
In
you
a
come
team
in,
fight.
Okay, so what's interesting
Yeah.
there is how many targets can it hit?
So it's 4 targets, right? So we say it's 3 bounces
war target
with the
attack.
first target. So basically, just
Yeah, team
keep
fight,
in
if you're
mind
not
that
looking,
it's a
dude, and it
4 target
connects,
attack.
it's
But at any point, right, if you're
and you're
dodging,
bleeding.
you're just
on
gonna
top
stop
of it.
the
That's
ricochet
gonna
from
get
happening,
nerfed.
Okay.
I
to
can
other
tell.
targets nearby.
Yeah.
Can it hit minions? Can it do any of that
It
stuff?
can't hit minions. It can hit yourself or other allies, but it
Ooh.
won't bounce or ricochet from an ally or whatnot. It can hit the king in breach, and I don't think it can hit the guardian.
Okay, all right.
But that's
All right, so what about feat 4?
so
This one
feat
looked
4
like a
is
mini
called Gunpowder
catapult or
Surprise.
something.
It's I mean, I'm just gonna let
Yorm.
you showcase it,
Yeah.
just because it looks super
Or
cool.
ranged
All right,
Yorm.
so let's go.
So, yeah,
Oh,
so
and
this
it
is
knocks down.
basically,
Yeah.
Jormungandr's tier 4, but shootable, right? You don't get the armor
Jormungandr
from
maids are coping
the
so well.
Jormungandr. This can also hit the pirates, so you
That's
want to
pretty
be
cool.
sure to
It
use
does
it in
take
a more strategic
A
way
bit
than
of
just
time
using
to
it
hit to
when
land,
you're
though.
inside of the AoE.
Yeah, you can't just come up and just
It will also bump
throw
your
your
allies.
feet out. I mean,
But dude, again,
it
you can
also
do
deals
that in a
damage
team
to
fight.
whoever's in
Stand
there.
back.
So that's pretty
But
cool.
if you're not looking
Yeah,
at the
it's pretty
ground in a
interesting,
team
yeah.
fight, what are you doing?
Is your feet
Well, I
on
mean,
cooldown?
When fourth
my
feats are
fourth
active.
one is in cooldown, but I
But
can do my
like,
third one.
how often
Yeah.
does Yorm's
Try
tier
it
4
just
land,
to see.
So let's go.
Think about
And I
it.
didn't
Get people
dodge.
clustered.
Bloopers,
Use
I
the
guess.
T4.
It's all
Knock them
good.
down.
Okay.
Use the tier
So,
3.
30, yeah.
So
No, it's-
when I was introducing the heroes and stuff, I noticed that
You could
well, I
insta-kill,
actually
like,
said it, that we have
whole
little
team.
surprise in store for players with the Pirates feat. So can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I think this is something we're pretty proud of. It's not a new tech per se, but it's something that's been incorporated into whole hero. what you're going to be able to do with this character is at any point when you're able to use your pistol blast, you can just use a feat instead. Just to swap it out. You say, I don't want to use pistol blast, I want to use my trick shot, and you know, maybe hit the first target and then hit the other targets to protect yourself. It's all doable with this tech.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, anytime I use a pistol blast, so basically if I do this, right? So
Yeah,
instead of that
you're going
pistol
to be
blast,
able to use the feat.
I can use my feet. Okay, so that's pretty cool.
Wow.
So let's see what it looks like, right? So I'm going to be on you. I'm going to throw a heavy, and then I'm going to go into the
Part
feet
of her
instead doing
moveset.
pistol blast.
Exactly.
That.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
That works quite well.
It's 5 more damage though. I mean, that's
Can we
30.
do it to feet 2 and 4, right? Because they're not
Yes.
gunshots.
So we can even use them with feat 2 and 4.
Okay.
The only difference is it's not quote unquote guaranteed.
Okay.
If you're hitting, right?
So let me give it a
Because
shot.
this is how you will be- Yeah. So here I could have dodged and
You could
rolled
have
away
dodged it,
or whatnot.
That's
but
pretty
you can
cool if
still
you
use
use
the
your
pinching,
feats
which is
in
Okay.
your
I
mix-up.
think too,
That's
what's
different.
interesting as well is I can target swap them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be on Ben here. I'm going to do heavy target swap, and then I'm going to go into my feet 3. Oh wow, okay. This is actually pretty interesting, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
it feels quite strong.
different.
I can go into my feet 4 as well. We can showcase it. It's dodgeable stuff, right? So we can go.
That's a big radius
He'll
though.
bounce
Is that
me,
the
he'll
same
be
radius
dumped a little
as
bit of damage to me
Yorm's?
as well.
I didn't-
Exactly.
Really?
That's pretty cool.
Just about.
I don't know.
Is there another
It
little
looked a
trick
lot
to those feats?
Bigger.
Because
I
that's
don't know.
already
Oh,
pretty
maybe.
cool tech,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. Can
okay.
you tell me about that?
Yeah. So what's interesting also I find with these feats is that not only can you use them in your chains, they also
It continues your
initiate
chain?
chains, just like
All
the pistol
right.
blast, right? So I
I'm
can go
starting to see
heavy
this is a little bit.
into feet into heavy again afterwards.
See, that's what
Well,
I'm saying, man.
which
In team
It's
fights,
super interesting because
She's gonna
normally
be
like we wouldn't
deadly.
really have feats that not only we can use in chains.
I like
we've
it.
had it a little bit.
I think it's creative. I
to
can't
create
knock
It
a
is.
that.
chain into her 4th feet after pretty much every single attack. It's just not very well known or used. But this is the first time that we actually put it as a big part of a character's fight kit, being able to do that sort of stuff. So it's kind of interesting, right? So I can go like this, like that. That's pretty cool. All right.
Yeah, so it's going to be great to see, you know, how like all the plays the pirates are going to be able to do. You know, maybe we're going to see it on social medias. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that should be super interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
so one last thing I want to showcase real quick because it's something that we haven't really seen much. Is that so? Before when I was showcasing the pirates pistol blast, so you have this guaranteed pistol blast after a heavy, right? So what happens if you want to target swap? So this is the first time we've also done this, which is if you stay on the same target and your heavy attack hits and you press guard break, the hit is going to be guaranteed on your main target. However, if you target swap, instead of keeping on your target and doing a guaranteed hit on that target, you're actually able to do target swap and go into the other pistol blast like this, right? So this is pretty interesting also because that we really wanted the character to be able to weave in between opponents quite a bit in group fights. That gunshot, the pistol blast is like 500 milliseconds, so it's super quick. It's hard to react to in group fights, so you really need to be aware when you're fighting her, when you're outnumbering her, to be able to fight well and to be aware of what can be coming. So that's it for the Pirate Hero. We